I mean, the paradigm shifts about every 7 to 10 years here in this industry. I've been around just long enough to see a few different waves, right? I go back to where we made all our money selling exchange servers, right?
Yeah.
So, the
Now
industry
you hope
always
you don't have one.
changes. But what ends up happening usually is a thinning of the herd too. And what I mean by that is you'll see that a lot of the MSPs that really weren't driving value for their customers ultimately either get rolled up or exit from the industry, and then a new wave comes in and really amps up the game and now takes the whole community to another level. And if you really look at how the MSP community has matured, especially over the last 7 to 10 years, it's been amazing to watch from the outside. Somewhat looking in, I say that as not no longer an MSP. But I think what you're getting to, Bobby, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is it's just you're going to see that the MSPs that start taking the ball and running with it now are going to become some of the more innovative organizations moving forward and really change even the way the businesses they serve do business.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you think about metrics like endpoint to technician ratio. See, the average for an MSP today is about 200 endpoints to technician. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, I have 400, I'm perfect. Maybe you don't charge as much. Maybe someone else has 100 endpoints to tech, but they charge 10 times what you charge. So, you've got to have more data to triangulate. But generally, if you're at 200 endpoints to technician today, you probably need to work to get to 400 with the same or similar service and price point and such, so that you're set up for the future to, one, be that trusted advisor to sell AI to your customers, but also to be there if when margins start going down.
Yep. And I think what this innovation is really allowing a lot of MSPs to do is penetrate deeper into their accounts too. Over at VCIO Toolbox, we're always talking about that. Really, there's never been a better time to take a leadership role within the customers as well. And we're seeing the industry kind of turn a little bit to looking at numbers, and not just the numbers that you spoke of measuring themselves internally, but also measuring how they're presenting out to their customers. And it's almost become part management consultant, the role as well, where you're dealing a little bit more in budget, fact finding, costs. Those used to be some taboo conversations in the early days to even have with your customer. But now, if you don't understand what it's costing them to operate, their service desk, if you're going to talk about enabling them with AI capabilities as an example, you can't get, without knowing what it costs, you can't get into how we can potentially get a return on that investment that's being made. And
Yeah,
customers are much more open to that conversation now too.
100%. And you also have to help them understand the opportunity. I was talking to an MSP who's selling AI to their customers the other day, and they were like, we keep running into this challenge where we're scoping a problem. And so then we go build like a wireframe solution, kind of present it, and then we realize the problem wasn't as big as it was initially scoped for. And so that's a whole another sales process of, you don't like the way your HR works. You don't like the way, onboarding new users is more current MSP, your sales process, whatever it is where they're clicking and it's inefficient. You really need to figure out, how do I get to the total opportunity, or even like a reasonable opportunity of what I can automate here? That's a whole new muscle for an MSP sales team to go build.
Yeah.